Somebody once said, love is like an ice cream on a hot summer's day. Refreshing, rejuvenating, and exactly what you need. Not if you're lactose intolerant, it isn't. You know, your partner's sat there diarrheaing themselves everywhere whilst you're trying to sit and eat your Magnum. Bit off-putting. Valentine's Day, the day of love and affection. And you're probably sitting there looking at me going, Ed, you know, you're a player, you're a womaniser. Sure. I bet you pull loads of girls. You'd be surprised, actually. Only thing I could pull's a muscle. There'll be some of you out there in relationships. Well done. You found somebody that doesn't find you utterly repulsive. And, you know, you of all people should be applauded for that. Cupid shot you in the face with his bow and arrow. Good for you. I'm not bitter about it. The last thing I want is some moaning all the time. Ooh, wipe down the toilet seat when you've urinated on it. No thanks, Maggie. Not interested. Too much talking. Come on. Her name probably wouldn't be Maggie. Sounds a bit old to me, really. It's not really my sort of thing, is that. But if it's your sort of thing, then good for you. Look at Liam Payne, you know, first Cheryl, now Naomi Campbell, who next? Tina Turner. On the other hand, there's the sad and lonely out there watching this on Valentine's Day, and you're probably drowning in your sorrows with a bit of the Albuzio. But don't worry, because you are not alone. Well, you are, but, you know, my point is this, you're probably not the only person resorting to drinking on Valentine's Day. It says here in my little book of 1,227 facts. Male fruit flies rejected by females drink significantly more alcohol than those that have had a successful encounter. So what it's saying is, you know, don't worry because it's perfectly natural, you know. You're very much like a rejected male fruit fly. So, could be worse. Before we get into this video, I'd appreciate you showing your love and affection for this channel by hitting the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already as well, that'd be great, as I try and hit 25,000 subs. So, let's crack on. So here's the real Valentine's Day story. Is it really that romantic? I'll let you be the judge of that. In the 3rd century, the Roman Empire was ruled by an emperor who had a tendency for getting himself into wars. So many that he was having difficulty recruiting enough soldiers. Right, well, think ahead next time before you start declaring wars willy-nilly. So he's embarrassed himself there. Next. He believed that recruitment for the army was down because Roman men did not want to leave their loves and families behind. So he cancelled all marriages and engagements in Rome. Right, so if you own a little business in the wedding industry in Rome in the 3rd century, breaking news, it's over for you. Go be a plumber. You're not needed anymore, alright? A simple Christian priest named Valentine came forward and stood up for love. Calling him simple, bit unnecessary, just a priest will have done, but, you know, so you've slagged him off there, bit harsh. He began to secretly marry soldiers before they went off to war, despite the emperor's orders. The emperor found out about the secret ceremonies. Right, so who's grasping Valentine here? Someone's sucking up to the emperor, so pathetic. Yeah? He had Valentine thrown into prison and deemed that he'd be put to death. Bit excessive. You know, all I've done's married a few people, and you're gonna kill me. Hardly an eye for an eye, is it? You're taking my whole head off here, Emperor. As Valentine was awaiting execution, he fell in love with a blind girl who happened to be the jailer's daughter. Bet that went down well. Why is she there? Was it take your kid to work day or something? Shouldn't she be at school? On the eve of his execution, with no writing instruments available, Valentine is said to have written her a sonnet in ink that he squeezed from violets. I'm starting to question this now. So he's sat in jail and suddenly he's gone flower shopping and he's started to squeeze some violets into a liquid that he can write with. Not too sure, bit suspect. Legend has it that his words made the blind woman see again. I'll stop you there. His words made the blind woman see again. Did it really? I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure words don't cure blindness. Take Stevie Wonder for example. He sang a lot of great words over the years, and he was superstitious. So, you know, if this was going to work on anybody, it'd probably be him. But as far as I'm aware, still blind. Don't get me wrong, I love the blind. Great people. You know, you hardly see many sort of blind terrorists knocking about. I mean, they don't see them at all, but neither do we, so equal. It was a brief romance because the next day Valentine was clubbed to death by Roman executioners. Not exactly the romantic ending I was expecting. You know, at least she's living happily ever after, with sight. So you understand the origins of Valentine's Day now, and now you're probably thinking, oh Ed, you know, do you have a girlfriend? Yeah, definitely, yeah. Got a girlfriend, yeah, for sure, so don't question it. What's her name? Shandy? Shandy, yeah. Shandy. So... For those of you who aren't in a relationship, fear not, because tomorrow you've got your own little celebration called Singles Awareness Day, or SAD as it's abbreviated to. So, you know, if you don't believe me, look it up. Don't actually look it up, I'll do it for you. We've got some time to kill anyway, let's be honest. Oh, bit of clever editing there with the zoom. So, factual. This is basically a day for you to sit at home, watch Netflix, by yourself, and cry into a tub of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, because you are going to be alone forever and ever and ever, you know? Unless, you know, one or two of you slip through the net, you might have a few on and off again relationships the next 12 years, and then die alone. Pointless. But I say no to all this. Wipe away those tears, you know, put down the tub of ice cream. Once you've finished it, obviously. You know, I'm not crazy, don't waste it. But, you know, go out there and go find somebody. Since when has sitting around watching Bird Box ever found you the woman of your dreams? You know, or man, whatever you're into. Male, female, other, whatever your preferences. If you're needing help with chat-up lines, then you've come to the right place, clearly. Because I think you have to gauge how forward to take it. You know, you can start off with cheesy if you want. Are you a Mexican? Because you are my Juan and only. Yeah, sort of a Mexican pun there. You can try going smooth if you want, you know. Are you a parking ticket? Because you've got fine written all over you. You can also, you know, enter creepy territory. It's a risky card to play as this one, so play it with caution, okay? Do you own an orphanage? Because I want to give you kids. Yeah, probably a bit forward, I'd imagine, for a first encounter. But, you know, like I say, play it with caution, because it is going to put off basically everybody. And it's probably going to do more harm than good as well, to be honest. So, would I advise that one? No, probably not, actually. Maybe just ask what her name is. I've been getting a lot of people go up to me going, oh Ed, we love you, Ed, we adore you. Yeah, can't blame you for that, but no, wrong. Love yourself first, then love me second, first or second best, then maybe love your friends and family third, if you want, you know. If you can't love them because they are all convicted criminals, and, you know, Uncle Elvis is locked up for murder, or Auntie Elmo's behind bars for war crimes, and you can't love them after that, then at least don't loathe them, because... You know, yes, they might have murdered someone 30 years ago. Yes, it might have been a family member, but don't hold grudges. The wise men of Oasis once said, don't look back in anger. And it's, you know, probably the first sensible thing they've ever said. And I subscribe to that mentality. You should too. The late, great Nelson Mandela once said, as I walked out the door towards the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison. So, you know, that's off the top of my head. What he's saying there is, you know, don't hold grudges. Yes, they murdered somebody, but, you know, don't hold on to that, otherwise you'll be in prison too. You know, not literally, your criminal record's clean, but mentally at least. A lot of people recently have been saying, Ed, why don't you go on Love Island? You know, you've got the rugged good looks, you've got the charm, you've got the charisma. Sure, you know, the whole package, whatever, right? I say no. I don't want to find love on an island. I'd rather find love on the ocean. You know, not like mermaids and stuff, but on a cruise. I think there's something quite romantic about a cruise, you know, unless it sinks, of course, in which case you've got Titanic 2.0 in your hands, and there's nothing romantic about jumping ship and drowning to death for the girl of your dreams because you've hit a glacier. Look, I appreciate drowning to death is the gentlemanly thing to do, but come on people, it's 2019, you know, should she have moved up a little bit? Because I'm still convinced there was room on that door for Jack to get on if Kate Winslet hadn't just thought about herself. You know, budge up a little bit. Leo's getting colder, he's freezing to death. Oh, Jack, I'll never let go. Well, you have, so hypocrite. If you've recently come out of a relationship and it's still a bit raw on Valentine's Day, then, you know, I've got a bit of wisdom for you. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened, yeah? Appreciate that it happened in the first place. Unless they cheated, of course, in which case, you know, cry with joy because at last it's over and you don't have to see their stupid little face anymore. I'll end on this, quite a nice way to sort of round off Valentine's Day. So, a message to those that cheat. Listen to this. Every human being starts out life as an arsehole. It's the first part of the body to form in the womb. Yeah? Some people stay arseholes.